There are some ways to use AI which feel totally wrong to me. Using it to make the whole image, for example, just isn't that appealing to me. But there are some ways which I find it really fun and helpful for 3D environments. So in this video, I'll show you some methods I've been playing around with to use AI textures specifically that almost feel like cheating just because of how well this seems to work. I try not to overuse these. I don't want my entire image to just become AI, but I feel like for background assets and stuff like that, this can be a really good option for just quickly filling up space and adding a little bit of life if you use it properly. So I don't know. I don't really know how I feel about this, honestly. I still feel a bit weird every time I use anything AI, but this is just the methods I've been trying out. So feel free to take them and use them if you want. Okay, the first way here is pretty simple. I'm just gonna I have this demo scene here, just with a couple of spotlights, textures from Polyhaven. These are from my free arches pack. I can link that below. All just free assets in this. Let's take this wall. I'm just gonna clear the texture off this so it's just plain with nothing on it. There is a mirror modifier from that, but it's just a white plane. Let's just make a new texture, and I'm gonna go into this folder of just AI generated patterns and stuff that I have here. So I have one folder here of let me just find this. I have one folder here specifically of this weird prompt I was using where I was just saying like, make me this is Midjourney, by the way. It's just an AI image generator. You can probably make this in other ones, ChatGPT, whatever too. So I just typed in like an ancient Roman painting of a hooded figure becoming, it's cut off, but I think I just typed in like becoming enlightened or something like that. Just something silly, I don't know. But it gives you some stuff and you can choose the variations, whatever. So I landed on this kind of style of it giving me like stuff like this. I'll just drag and drop that into the shader editor and let's just run it straight into the base color. So you could just leave it like that. There's probably more I'd want to do to this. If you notice, the roughness just looks a little bit flat and it's just not quite doing what I'd want. So I might go in and take a roughness map, maybe from this. I'll just copy this and let's just paste that on here and see if that is gonna improve it somewhat. It looks like it's pretty much just fully blank, so I could even just turn that up to full and that would probably be the same thing, honestly. Again, this is just a free texture from Polyhaven on everything else. So I'll just take the base color. Let's just copy that. Let's see if we can blend this in a little bit nicer. So I'm going to Control V and paste that base color into the shader editor here. Let's just take a mix color node and I'll just try and mix these together a little bit better. So this AI image in slot A, base color in slot B. I'll keep it on mix and I'll just run this into the mix factor, the tile image. That can actually be the mix factor on itself. You can take a color ramp, put it in here, and let's just try and get that. Maybe I'll flip this around and I'll try and get that to be a little bit nicer coming through, just so it looks a little more faded. I'd probably not use this map. I'd probably use something else, but I'm just trying to blend these together slightly better. So I don't know, that's a little bit better. I would probably want to maybe mix the color or adjust the color of this input image a little bit more. So we could take a hue saturation value, maybe desaturate it a little bit, maybe take a mix color and like bring in some warmer tones so we can go to multiply. Let's just make it full brightness and then make this something that's slightly warmer. And that's a little bit more blended in. That's a little bit more usable. Maybe I could adjust the hue of the original image as well, but there's some stuff I would do to make that blend in a bit better. This is totally something I would use for like, if you're looking down a hallway, something that's just off to the side somewhere. Probably wouldn't use it as the main thing, although you could. But yeah, that's totally something that I would have in like a hallway or something like that as just some side painting or something. And you can of course just swap this out for whatever. Like we could just go in here, let's take this and just try a different one, right? Just do that. And all of a sudden we just have so many, unlimited options when you're just generating images to just put whatever we want in here, which is kind of crazy. So there's so many different things that could work. Some of them are just bad and don't fit, but some of them can look really natural and like they fit in quite well. So yeah. Okay, for the next method here, I'm just going to put the default tile material back on here. What I want to do for this method, I'm actually going to take this wall. Let me duplicate this and I'll just move it very slightly on the y-axis just so it's not intersecting with the other one. This has a solidify modifier. I'm just going to remove that so it's a flat plane. And I'm going to take this material off of this one. So it's just a white plane, just a centimeter or millimeter in front of that other wall. And I'm going to make a new material. Let's just delete this, and I'm going to add a transparent. So I'll plug that in, and you can see transparent by itself is going to do nothing. It's actually not going to do anything. If you do have some ambient occlusion or something, you might see it, but I'll show you how to turn that off in a second. You might see like a shadow weird thing popping up, but basically this will do nothing as long as the value is set to 1. If you set this to lower than 1, you'll see it's going to darken anything behind it. And I learned this trick from Ian Hubert. This is essentially like using, I don't know, like an overlay or multiply blend mode in Photoshop, or in the mix, mix RGB node. Like if you take the mix color node and you switch this from mix to like multiply, that's essentially what this is doing as far as I understand it. So you can tint this whatever your color you want, and you're still going to be able to see the underlying base color, roughness, normal map, all that as if it was there, just darker. So what we can do is actually use an image to drive the color of this, and we can get some very interesting results. So here's just some other weird patterns I've got with Midjourney. You can see I just typed in an ancient Arabic drawing of an eye with a tear falling, and it gives you a bunch of like unusable ones, and then you just kind of repeat it, change the parameters, whatever, until you find a style that works, and then you can just kind of do variations of that. So I have a bunch of these. Let's just take one of these things, and I'll just drop it into the shader editor here, and let's just plug that right into the transparent node. And you can see all of a sudden we have something that we can just slap onto a wall, which is going to work as basically look like it's kind of painted on. Now, I don't like how this is set up right now. If you look here, if we just move this slightly further away from the wall, we're seeing a duplicate of it. That's because we have shadow turned on. So I'm going to go into the object properties over here, the orange square, down to visibility, and then ray visibility. Underneath ray visibility, just uncheck shadow, and this will not produce any shadow at all. You can see with that on, it's just going to have a shadow behind it. Just uncheck that, and that'll go away. And that will look like it's just glued right onto the wall as well, or floor, or whatever it's on. So what I might want to do here is, I don't like how it's going to pitch black in some of these areas. We could either take a color ramp, or we could do this with the curves. I'll show you that in a second. But let's take a color ramp, and that'll convert it to black and white. That's okay for this example. Let me just raise the minimum value, the black handle. I'm just going to bring that up to actually closer to white, and just bring it down slowly from there. So we could probably stop around there. That's a value of 0.1 or 0.2. You can see now, if I just click off this, it really looks like it's just kind of like a thing on the wall. It's like that's a lot more convincing than it should be for what this is. Just an image slapped right into one shader. And it's totally, you could just take this and move it exactly wherever you want. And you don't have to worry about, other one. You don't have to worry about like mixing it into the texture and creating copies of the texture or whatever. It's just a thing like a decal you can just kind of slap right on the wall, which is really handy. And you don't have to make it this obvious too. In my last video, I showed how to use this with like a noise texture and have it faded in, and that makes it a lot more convincing as well. But in general, if you just keep this pretty light, it's not going to be that noticeable. We can also do this with curves, RGB curves, and we can just take the bottom handle here and just raise it up a little bit and fade it that way. That's another way to do that. And by the way, you don't have to use AI textures here. Let me show you an example with like some graffiti. So if I just find that image here, just as a test, I downloaded this image from Unsplash. This is a non-AI image. It's just a photograph of some graffiti. So I'll just put that in here. Let's use that same technique. So we're just running that into a transparent node. I'm just going to make this cover the wall a little bit more, and then let's apply scale. And I'll just unwrap this with a cube projection just so it's not all stretched out. And I'll just make sure that's not going off the UV map. So something like that is probably better. Okay, so right away it's kind of working, but we can do better here. Let's try that curves technique. So I'll just take an RGB curves where it's running in here. Let's just elevate the black handle a little bit like that. And that could just work straight how it is. But we can do a little bit better here. So let's do this. Maybe I'll just invert the image, because I just want the background to be white. And then maybe I'll just hue shift this. So let's take a hue saturation value. Let's just shift the hue all the way around so that now the color is kind of back to where it was, sort of. And it's just kind of on there. You can desaturate that a little bit too. It's probably going to be a little bit more natural. You can see if I go to the underlying texture and make some changes, let's just take a color ramp and put that through where the roughness map is going in. Just crunch this and make it really shiny. So there we go. If I zoom in here, you can see this looks like it's just spray painted right on the wall. That is actually really cool. I just tried this method for this video, and this is totally something I would do in an actual render. But you can see for what this method is, this is pretty good for just having it on a plane in one shader, and you can just move it around to wherever you want and not worry about the you don't have to worry about mixing it into the other shader or whatever, making copies of that. It's just a thing you can slap right on the wall. So that's pretty nice to be able to do that too. Okay, for the last example of how I sometimes use these AI textures, again, this one's not AI, but the next one is. Let's just take a plane. Let's just move that over here, and I'm going to be using, you might have seen this before on my channel, the add-on DeepDump. Here's how I might use that in an actual render. First of all, let's just make a new material. What I might actually do is just take a new texture from Polyhaven. Let me just take this like concrete floor texture from Polyhaven. Again, these are all just free from their website. And I'm going to go to the shader editor. First of all, I don't want the displacement map, so I can just delete that. I don't need that. This is doing nothing, so I'm going to remove this just so it's more clear to see. So we have just base color, roughness, normal. What I might do is bring in some weird AI pattern that I have. Let's just do like this. So again, I don't know the prompt doesn't matter. Like I don't need to give a tutorial on the prompt, but in case you're wondering, I typed in an ancient Chinese brass engraving of a square within something, probably within a circle with, I don't know, 2D image. Let's just take this, drop it in here, and let's just mix this into the color. So mix color, let's do that there. So base color, slot A, AI image, slot B. Let's switch it over to multiply, and that way it'll be kind of just taking the dark parts only. That's okay for now. I'm not gonna put that on full blast. I'm gonna keep it like pretty subtle. Now what we can do is actually go to this interesting add-on here called DeepDump. Now you do have to enable some weird permission. I don't know exactly how that works, so maybe just read up on that before you actually just go and enable this. I can't remember what it is at the time of recording this. I installed this like a year ago. Anyways, it's an add-on that takes an image texture, just base color, and converts it into a normal map using AI. So it works surprisingly well here. There's other softwares that do this too. You don't have to use this one. This is a free add-on though. So anyways, I'm gonna just choose large for tile overlap for the color to normals section, and I'm just gonna hit generate, and I'll just let it do its thing. Takes like 10 seconds. And then boom, it creates a normal map. All we have to do is just take that and plug it into where this is going into the normal. I'll just override that. And you can see it actually just generates a normal map based on that image that we brought in. So we can do it to anything. Let's make this maybe a bit more metallic. Maybe take a color ramp and adjust where this is going into the roughness. Maybe just bring that a little bit up. And maybe let's take an RGB curves where the base color is going in. Maybe I'll just brighten that up a little bit as well, just so it's not so dingy looking. Okay, so that's something that we could do there. All right, could make it metallic or just half metallic or whatever. Again, this is totally something I could use in a render. Let's actually, let's desaturate this a little bit more so that it fits into the environment a little bit better. Maybe adjust the hue slightly. And there we go. So since we have a normal map on here, it'll actually react perfectly to any lighting we have in the scene. So you can see if I just throw this on here or whatever, if I move this light around, we're gonna get shadows based on wherever that's coming from, just because we've generated a normal map to fit into that. So again, this is something I could totally use. I would probably use this more off to the side in something else as part of a larger object or whatever, but it's totally usable in an environment. And that's really cool that you can just take an image, generate a normal map, and just have any kind of texture that you want or any kind of weird pattern or whatever just straight in Blender, and it's going to react perfectly to the lighting and fit right in. That's just so cool that you can do that. Again, you don't have to use an AI image as the input here. You can do this with any image you download or any image that you put in here. You can generate a normal map with this add-on, so you don't have to just do this. But yeah, so I've just made a bunch of arches and pillars and stuff, and I've just put that into a free pack. There's all of my free asset packs and everything I've given away for free is all linked under the same link below. You can download them all individually though. You don't have to download everything. So I've just put a Polyhaven texture on here. This is, if I just go here, cobblestone pavement. That's what the texture is called. Free texture for Polyhaven. Let's just put that on this one too because it looks kind of cool. But you can see all these arches if you want to just get a pack of these and use them in your renders. No credit required. That will just be linked below and you can make scenes like this really quickly. Other than that, thank you for watching. Hopefully this is just fun and interesting. Anyways, thanks for watching. See ya.